Okay, so in this one we're going to talk about doing a map, like just tracing over a map as an example. So I'll just delete everything there, and then I'm going to import this picture that I just found on the internet, just this real simple map of a Spanish trail. Okay, I'm going to embed it. And then what I want to do is go and view the layers. Where did layers come? View. Oh, layer. Okay, layers. So here's the layers. So this one I've put on on like the initial layer, layer one. So actually I'm going to lock it here like this, and now whenever I try and click on it, there's no way that I can affect that until I unlock it. So I'll drop the opacity down quite a bit just so that it's easier for us to see what we're drawing on. And then I'm going to zoom in onto the map itself. Okay, so as we can see here, this is a very simple map of the Spanish Trail. It has the outlines of these few states, western states, and the line of the Spanish Trail. So actually we're gonna also work with layers to do this. First we'll build a layer that has all the different states on it, and then after that we'll add another layer above that that has the actual trail. Okay, so first thing we'll do, hit the add button, and then you can choose here where do you want it to be. In this case, we do want it to be above the current, and we're going to call this one states. Okay, adding. All right, so now we have the states in there, and actually I'm going to do a solid fill of these states here. So I'll start over here with maybe I'll start with these easy ones like Colorado. Okay, so I have this one here. Incidentally, where I live. Dun dun dun. Okay, Colorado. So what I'm going to do is actually just go here with the line tool. Now snapping. Slight curve on this one. And that's the thing whenever you're doing a curve here. Now that I've started a curve, it wants to make the next one a curve. But actually I want this next one to be straight. But we'll worry about that in a second. So here, and then here, just a slight curve down as well. Okay, so now when I click the node tool, you'll see this one is set up to be where they're opposite of each other. So what I want to do is make them operate independently. And actually I can just snap it back there because I want it to be straight. Okay, so I like that. And then we'll do just each state one at a time. Oh, whoops, wrong tool. And then see over here, I've got this, how it snaps. You can see whenever I get close to it, this little thing appears. It says, hey, do you want to draw this here? Over here, you can enable this feature or not with this button over here on the very left. Enable snap percentage. And then not only that, you can specify like what do you want to snap to. So here, I got snap on nodes, paths, and handles. And then here you can snap to paths specifically, snap to like the intersections, the cusps, and then midpoints and things like this also. You can snap to. In this case, we'll just leave it to snapping to mainly the nodes. Snap down, snap down. Okay. And we'll cut that one off. And then now I'll just click the tool again and go over each of these. In this case of a map, really you're ending up drawing the line twice, like that border that I just drew between Utah and Colorado. That is actually the line would be exactly the same, but because we want them to be two separate shapes, you end up drawing the line twice over. Try and zoom in a bit here. Okay, so here's the idea of only putting a node where you absolutely have to. So here I've got one in the corner, and then this is kind of an arch back this way. So I'll put one here at this point, then at this point, at this point, and then here's a turn, here's a turn, here's a turn, and then up here to the corner. This is actually at this particular intersection here is the four corners, they call it, because this is the only location in the US where the four borders of the states come into the same exact point right there. Okay, over here, over here. Which one am I drawing? Oh shit, I was drawing Utah, or sorry, Nevada. I need to redo that. Okay. Whoops. I forgot which state I was drawing. Okay, so instead of going under Colorado, I'll go down. So let me just redo that. Here, 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 here. Snap, snap, snap. Okay, so now these corners, we can see they're very rough. So we'll click on the node editing tool and grab just these ones, and I'm going to convert them to the smooth sort of corner. And for the cases, because this map is so simple, we're not going to go like too crazy wanting it to be, wanting it to be perfectly accurate. So if you grab just the line itself, you can grab that segment and manipulate it. Or in most cases, you'll want to hover on just the node and move the actual node around. So now I'm just trying to approximate that node like in the center more or less of these lines here. Okay. Then I'm just out of curiosity, I'm just going to see what happens when I turn on this auto smooth. And that made it worse. Okay. Here. Okay. Perfect. And let me zoom out. Oops, it's the wrong direction. Zoom out. And then I'll do Arizona. Let's see if I can do this. Actually, for what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to duplicate Nevada, and then I'm going to erase these nodes that I don't want, and then be able to reuse this corner node here so that it's exactly in the same spot, so that I don't have to draw it again. So I'm going to go edit, duplicate. So now there's a copy of it, and I have that copy selected. When I edit the node tools, I'm going to grab these 3 points here and just delete them. Okay, now we can see that it put this weird node connection here. It's going all the way around and like basically changed the shape of this Nevada to like this. So I'm going to add a point. Where did it add that? I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll drag it down here. Oh, I didn't have it selected. Okay, there's adding a point. I'll add the point there, and then here. Okay, I'm going to convert that to just a normal corner. Make it easier to comprehend what's going on. Add a point here. Oops. So you can select multiple points at a time and move them around. I did it by accident in that case. But to move one, you need to make sure you click on just the one. I'll drag that up to snap on that corner. And this one I'll drag over to snap on that corner. And then this one, actually, I'm going to drag back to this corner here. So now you can see that I didn't have to redraw this. It's here, Like if I give it a solid color, you can see that that line is here, but I didn't have to draw it twice because I duplicated it. And now we know that those also are in the exact correct spot. So we'll go back to my node editing tool. And if I just click on the segment, I can add a node. Let me zoom out just a touch. Okay. Add a node there, so I'll go to that turn. Add another node, and there, oops, dang it. There might be an easier way to do this. I'm actually going to get rid of this fill color for now. Add another node there. The segment. Add another node. Right to there. And just kind of repeat this process all the way up until you have them. Just make sure you're only moving one at a time. Well, the good thing is if you do make a mistake, is it's very simple to usually to undo it or to recreate it. Like it's not a huge deal. Okay, I think I'll go right there. Add a node, and you can add multiple ones at a time. Like now I have all of these selected, or not. It's kind of just up to whatever you want to do. Add a node. Oh, actually, it's a bit annoying that it keeps them all selected. I see why it does it, because it wants you to be able to keep clicking add a node and then it just adds in between, but I don't know. Add, okay, then come over here, and then now add another one. Oh, dude. Okay. Alright, so now I've got those selected, and the ones that I need to modify are just these ones here in the corner, and I'm going to make those even, and we'll zoom in a bit to see how we look. See, and it actually, if you just put it on the peak points like that, you'll see I'm having to do very little work to actually get it to be pretty close to where I want it, or where I would want it. Just grabbing and dragging here, and really that's basically perfect. That's as good as you could want it, I feel. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom out. If you click the magnifying tool and hold shift, you can see the plus changing to a minus. Oh shoot. Okay, don't do that. But you can see it changing to a minus, and that's how you can zoom out easily. Okay, and then now for California, the one trick I'm going to do is the same trick that I just did for Arizona here, where I copied Nevada to make this segment. So on this one, I'll copy Arizona, or duplicate, I should say. Duplicate. So now there is one there. And then instead of actually deleting them, what I'm going to do is just drag the nodes to different spots, and then you can kind of see the different possibilities. Oops. Of what you can do. So there I've just dragged that node, grab the next one, and drag it up over here. And it might get confusing to look at it, but we'll see. This one actually is going to be this corner, or edge of the map. Then over here, drag that one to about there. So whenever you just drag them like that, they preserve the type of node they are. That doesn't change just from dragging it. So these ones that were on the corners being like crisp, they stay that way, and the ones that were curved, they stay curved. but you can see that you can just move the nodes around totally. So right now, like if I give this a fill, it's going to fill in this area, because I'm kind of, I don't know how to think about it, but twisting, I guess, is maybe a good word. Oops. Um, just twisting that to a different color. And so whenever I grab this one, we can see what happens. Now Arizona just morphed into California. Sorry for all the zooming around. Okay. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that fill. Go over here to this point and zoom in. And you see it can be a bit annoying if you have that snapping turned on. So you can actually shut off all the snapping like this. So now that we're doing this work that's not advantageous to have it linked to anything else, we can change that. So for now, I'm just going to do all these corners as sharp corners. That way we can just find out the critical points very easily. Just adjust them. Add one here. Drag it over. I swear I'll get used to that. Drag it over. Okay, this one about right there. Add a segment. We'll just add a bunch because we're gonna need them. Okay. So here, I don't want to have to do too detailed, but we'll just try to make it somewhat accurate. And again, I'm just going to like the extreme points. Like I wouldn't put one here, like in the middle, because I don't need it. It's just going to connect that. It'll make it automatically. I only want to go where there's like a more or less extreme change in direction, or like the ultimate point of something. And you can zoom in or out as much as you want on this. See this bitmap behind it, the one that we're tracing onto right now. The more you zoom in, the lower the clarity, right? You can only become so close to a pixel, because there's no like zoom in and enhance feature like on CSI or whatever. There's only zoom in. Like the enhance is basically just a smoothing technique between there, so it doesn't add any clarity. And well, I guess in fact it could maybe be adding to the distortion, if you think about it. But so actually I'm going to go down here. Oh man, how big is this state for real? Okay, I want that to be the same as this one. So on this one, I'm going to turn on the snapping real quick, because I want this one to snap to that same one. But now I can turn the snapping back off. And you don't have to have the snapping on or off, but it does make it a lot easier. It's very frustrating when you want something to align and you don't have the snapping turned on, or when you don't want something to align and you do have it turned on. Like that quick feature that this has of turning the snapping on and off is actually, it's super nice. I think maybe for this one we should try that autofill, or not autofill, but that quick smooth or whatever it was called. Okay, so on this segment, probably add 4 more. Oops. Maybe 1 more there. Add. Oops. Okay, had one there. Okay, so that's the whole state, I believe. Done up, more or less. Cool. So then we'll click the node tool and grab all of these ones here on this side. And if you hold shift, you can add or subtract it. So now I've got all these. I'm just going to turn on that smart smooth or whatever. Now we'll see how we did. Pretty cool, except for this one down here in the corner. We don't want it to be smart smooth because it's a sharp divide there with Mexico. So on this one, I'm going to turn on this feature and actually bring it right over. And then here, no. So I think maybe they have a problem here. Let's see. I don't think this one. I want to make sure I just have California. Edit, undo. So this node, I think I can just delete. So I don't need it. But the question is, why is there 3 handles there now? Oh, I have an extra node. Delete. Yeah, in that case, this is just because California or Arizona was like sticking down a little bit. Cool, close enough. So I believe that's all the states. So I'll zoom back out a bit. Oh, I forgot New Mexico. Actually, this is bothering me too on Colorado. I shouldn't have made that arched like that. Okay, so then I'll just draw New Mexico here. Turn on my snapping right to that point, and back over. Okay, and then on this, with the node editing tool, I'll just grab that path and drag it down to approximately meet Colorado. The slight curve there. Okay, so that's all the states. Let's make sure. For some reason, this looks weird. What's going on with this? Oh, it's because it's curved. So I want to convert these 2 points to this independent one, and then make this flat. Okay. Pretty close. Let's see how it looks with Nevada. So here it's actually a bit confusing to see which state is which. So we'll fill it in and see if there's any gaps between the states, which it looks like there is. So now I have Nevada selected in the node tool. I'll just drag that over to meet California better. I don't know, it might be straight there, it should be, but it doesn't really matter too much in this case. Okay, so now I'm going to select all of these states and we'll just fill them in with this sort of some color that's nice. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter too much. Spanish Trail. What's a good Spanish Trail color? I kind of want it to be more deserty, you know? All right. right, this will work. It's a bit skin tone, but that's fine. Okay, let me start this copy. So now after this, we have this layer done, and the layer above this will actually be, I guess we can do all of the text for the state names and stuff like that, and then after that we'll do the trail itself. The trail is going to be more or less the same technique as we are using to draw like the borders of the states. So in that case, it's not going to be anything new. But we can go ahead and lock this states now, and now we can't edit the states at all, and we'll drop the opacity down. Actually, we can just totally turn off the visibility of that entirely, and then now whenever we have the third layer above this with the labels, we'll be able to line it up very easily. So I'm going to go ahead and add this, and these will be text labels. Okay, add. So now I'm just going to grab this, and I'm going to start here with Nevada. I'm going to type Nevada, maybe. Not sure why that happened. I'll just delete that for now. I think maybe my color was off. I'm not sure. With the text tool. Okay, there we go. Nevada. So, not sure what font we should use here. Object. Text and font. Okay, this will bring up the text and font menu here, and we'll just pick a nice one. Apply. Yep, that's a nice one. Okay, and then we can adjust the size too. And again, you can distort it by just dragging it, or to restrain it, you hold Control. So probably about there. Another cool feature of Inkscape is to have the easy ability to rotate things. So here what I'm going to do is align this corner of the N up with this corner of the N, like this. And then, so we can see, let me zoom in a bit, see what I'm talking about. Oops, that might be too far. Okay, so we've got these two lined up here. Now with this black cursor tool, you click again, and you'll see that the arrows along the outside change. You click it, they're straight for like changing the scale, and then you click again, and it's for rotating. And then in the center, highlighted red now, is this axis of rotation, and we're going to change that actually to be over here on this corner. You can put it wherever you want, anywhere you want on the canvas, but we're going to change it to be this. And now that we change it, it's going to pivot around that, like the spot that we want to remain the same. And boom. Okay, so I think if I go with the text, I can actually spread this out. Not sure though. Oh, not sure. Give it a second here. Let's hope it doesn't crash. Might be asking too much. That's a bad sign. All right, well, I'll pick this recording up here in a second, hopefully.